Hi everyone! Welcome to the 8th episode of Watchfam Chats, where I interview friends in the Watch Instagram community. For today's guest, we have Ivan, who runs the at the Uncomplication Instagram page. I met Ivan during the early days of Watch Clubhouse, and he joined the group in moderating and thinking of fun topics. Ever since then, I've had the pleasure of getting to know Ivan, and I wanted to do this Watch Fam Chats with him so you all can get to know this awesome individual. So without further ado, let's welcome Ivan.
Hi, Eve. Thank you for inviting me to #WatchFamChats. I'm a huge fan of the series, and I can't believe I'm about to have this conversation with you. I'm really looking forward to it.
Gosh, thank you so much. Let's start with a quick introduction. Tell us a bit about yourself.
So, my name is Ivan, and I run the page called The Uncomplication. I was born in the Philippines in Manila, and I came to the States in 1990. I've been in and out of New York City for the last 30 years, and I currently work as a sales professional in the real estate industry. I am also a menswear enthusiast, a watch enthusiast, and a food enthusiast. Yep, I love food.
Oh, I know you love food, especially Filipino food. So I post Filipino food pictures on my Instagram stories and in the group chat to make you guys envious. On purpose. Next question. Can you tell us about how you got started into the watch hobby?
That's a really good question, Eve. I've always been into watches my whole life. I remember as a kid asking my mom for the Casios with the calculator because that's what all the cool kids had, and I wanted to have one too. And then when I started working in the sales industry, everyone always had these amazing luxury watches that I just admired from a distance. And then one day I broke the seal, and that's it.
Among the items in your collection, which watch is your favorite and what's the story behind it?
So, my favorite piece is also the most sentimental piece in my collection. It's the yellow gold Rolex 1503 with the Jubilee bracelet, the fluted bezel, and the faded blue dial. Growing up, my friends always had something passed down to them from generation to generation. And for some reason, my family didn't have something like that from my grandfather. Since my grandfather was a really important person to me, because he was my father figure, I really wanted something to remember him by. So after doing some research and asking my family, I found out that he did have a Rolex 1503, but it was stolen. So I spent last year looking for something that was similar to the configuration that he had, and I was able to find this guy on Instagram actually.
I know you're a big Grand Seiko fan, so can you tell us how you got into Grand Seiko?
You are absolutely correct. I do love me a Grand Seiko. I got into the brand because I was first introduced to them through a friend of mine who owned a lot of vintage Grand Seikos. And you already know the Grand Seiko community is amazing, and they'll tell you how amazing that watch is. And ever since then, as they say, the poison spread, and I've been collecting it since.
If you had all the money in the world, what's your grail watch?
Man, if money were no object, I had two grails. The first would be the rose gold HE2, reference GBLT998. That's the one with the rose gold case, white dial, blued hands. And then the second one would be the Langa Datograph, reference 403035. It's the platinum black dial with silver subdials.
What's your most important lesson learned in the watch journey?
That's another great question, Eve. And something that I learned from my watch collecting journey is life is way too short to be stressed out over something that we should be enjoying. If you can't get the piece that you want, relax, it's not the end of the world. And also go out there and explore. There's so many watch brands from so many countries. Trust me, you'll find something that you'll eventually love.
Aside from watches, what else are you passionate about?
So something outside of watches I'm also passionate about is fitness. Before the pandemic, I loved being in the gym for a couple of hours a day. It's fun to get that pump and to make those sick gains, you know?
Thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
You're very welcome, Eve, and thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun. I haven't done anything like this with the Watch Fam before, so I hope everybody enjoyed this episode of hashtag WatchFamChats, and I'll see you around on Instagram. Bye, everybody, and thank you again, Eve.